Okay, let's do a quick walk around here of this 2015 Scion FR-S. It's the Scion version of the two twins, the other being the Subaru BRZ. It's a joint collaborative effort. Really, the car is made by Subaru and has a Subaru boxer engine up in front. And the main difference between the two cars is some slight exterior styling differences, some option structure differences, and some pricing differences. This car is similar in concept to the Mazda Miata that I've got over there in terms of they're both about $24,000 or so to start. They're both rear-wheel drive sports cars, but the big difference is that this car has a back seat. So theoretically, bear with me a second, theoretically this car could be more practical than the two-seater only Mazda, but let's pop open the door here and have a look. These back seats are pretty severe. As you can see, there is literally no space back there. I don't know how any person could sit back here. The claimed specification is 29 inches of legroom, but I call BS on that because you would have to scooch up the seat. See if I can actually do this, give you a demonstration. Alright. Here I am sitting in the car, and you can see my legs, now granted I'm 6'3", but nonetheless my legs are already pretty tight up here. If I jack the car up to here like this, now there's no way that I could drive the car like this, absolutely not. This is, even the automatic one, I literally could not move my legs to the gas pedal, but let's just have a look and see how much backseat legroom that gives us. There you go, look at that. I mean, there's just no way people could sit back there. Frankly, I'm not sure that the conventional trunk type layout makes sense. I think if they had made this more like a hatchback like the Scion TC I had a few weeks ago, at least then you could pop this up, then you could fold the back seats down, which, by the way, one nice thing is those seat backs there are one piece, so you just grab them and they pull forward, and then you'd at least have a bunch of cargo room, but as far as carrying people, forget about it. Let's have a look at the engine. It's a boxer engine. That means the cylinders are laid flat rather than in line, two on each side, boxing the crankshaft, which is an inherently smooth layout, and it also gets the weight down there. One thing I really like about these Subaru 4s too, if you look over here, try and point at it, here's your oil filter. It's right there on top of the engine. Get your hand on it probably, and you might not even need a tool to take it off. That's super convenient. So doing an oil change on this car is extra easy. This car comes standard with a 6-speed manual. Interestingly, the Mazda, they're going to update it next year, but the current Miata still comes standard with a 5-speed. This car also has 200 horsepower. The Mazda has 167, but the performance of the FR-S is only slightly better, and that's probably because it's a little heavier and a little bit bigger. One thing to be wary of, let's sit in the car. This is the optional 6-speed automatic, which is a good gearbox. It has rev-matching downshifts. It's got a pretty aggressive VSC sport mode, but if you choose this transmission, it really slows the car down. It takes about 8 seconds to get to 60. Same issue in the Mazda. Problem is that these sports cars with little engines that have not much torque, and whatever torque they do have is made at comparatively high RPM. In this case, I think it's about 6,600 RPM torque peak. Means that just coming off the line, the cars feel sluggish sometimes. This car has, let me turn it on for you so you can see, all of them now come with a touchscreen LCD monitor. This one, however, has the upgrade bespoke, which per Scion policy is a dealer available add-on option. It's a nice system, just a few simple buttons, easy to use, but the screen is kind of small. Just a small complaint. My big complaint with this car, functionally or ergonomically anyway, let me close the door just to show you, and I've got this all in the review too. Here are your cup holders, okay? These are your primary cup holders, and as you can see, here's my hand, here's the cup holders. Now, how are you going to get to your coffee, or your Big Gulp, or whatever it is? You can see I spilled it. I spilled all over the place here. I had a cup of coffee here, and it just spilled, because there's just no way. You have to reach your hand back, pull it up, and then hold it. Just a really crappy, poor design. I guess they could have put it here. The problem is that this is where they want to mount this car doesn't have it, but if you ordered heated seats, you'd have your buttons for your seat heaters here. Really, the cup holder ought to be here, and they could have put the seat heater controls somewhere else. You do get another cup holder here in the door panel. The problem with it is, not that it's large, but that it's partially obscured by this door pull here, which is angled up that way. So you can't put your cup in directly down. You have to put it in at an angle, which again, if you've got a Starbucks coffee here, you're going to put it down like that, and it's going to spill all over the place here. And once it's in, you try and pull it up, and same thing, it'll spill this way, or it'll hit that. So that's just atrocious, and I'm shocked that they would design the car that way. It's a small gripe, but it's a significant one. What else do I want to tell you about? Pop out of the car here. That's more or less it. The other thing to mention is that this car actually gets better gas mileage than the Miata, and the one upside to the automatic transmission is that it gets significantly, not just a little, but significantly better gas mileage than with the stick. So that's your one compensation for reduced performance. But I personally would not choose it, even for driving in stop-and-go city traffic, because these cars, with their light clutches, and because they're lightweight, are easy and fun to drive with manual transmissions. And really, a car like this just ought to have a manual transmission regardless. Anyway, the rest of the review is up at epautos.com. Hope you'll take a moment, stop by, take a look, and leave your comments, pro or con. Let us know what you think. And we'll catch up with you next week when we take a look at this Miata. This is the last of the current generation before the update that's coming for 2016. This is the 25th anniversary edition, has the retractable top, and it's kind of a counterpoint to that FR-S. The FR-S is a much more macho looking car. This car is a more subdued looking car. People say it's a chick car, but I'll tell you what, the truth is that you can drive this car more balls to the wall than you can that car, particularly when it's in red. That car draws the attention of the bullet head boys. This car doesn't. Anyway, look forward to your comments, and we'll catch up with you next